Hi there. I'm just gonna give you guys a few minutes to log on. I'm by myself tonight, so if you are new, then it's nice to meet you. Thank you for being here. My name is Lindsay. Normally I'm here with my husband Jess, and we are online live every Tuesday night at 7:30, answering questions sent in by you guys. He's not here with me tonight. He's actually in Texas visiting his daughter. And that's, I guess, my first shout out for tonight is Caitlin Kofal, who turns 16 on the 23rd. I can't believe it. So happy birthday to Caitlin. And my other shout outs for tonight are for Michelle Seep. Michelle is a Momentum member, and she's also a realtor. And Michelle has a phenomenal listing in Ontario right now. It's actually owned by another friend of ours. And I'm going to share that in our stories. I'll share that in the caption text when I'm done here live so that you guys can see that. It's kind of the ideal equestrian property. So I want to share that with you guys so you can check it out, add it to your Christmas list. And the other shout out that I have for tonight is to Wendy McIntyre. Wendy gave Jesse and I 3 of these. Can you see that? So that's our logo, and it's all in metal. It's all been cut out in metal with the HC, the Hayes Kofal there. So thanks very much to Wendy for those. They're beautiful, and we will have to find, there's 3 of them, so we're gonna have to find 3 spots for those around the farm. I tried them, I didn't tell you this yet, Wendy, but I tried them this week just halfway down the arena, marking out center. So that was kind of cool, but maybe once we get our upstairs built, I'll be able to find a really great spot for those. So those are cool, and thank you very much again to Wendy. Okay, so tonight's question. So I see some of you guys are jumping on, which is great. Hi Lee, hi Kim, hi Lacey, super, awesome. Okay, so the question for tonight was, what can I do to stay fit when I'm not riding? And it was not sent in for the holidays, but this is a common question that we get about what can I be doing when I can't ride, either because there's a snowstorm, or I'm too busy over the holidays, or I don't have access to an indoor arena, or whatever. There's lots of reasons why we can't ride, and there's lots of reasons why we want to stay fit, or still be improving our fitness level for our riding off of the horse. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit tonight. If you have contributions, if you have something specific that you do that really helps you, I would love it if you would just drop that into the comments, something that really helps you. I know some of you guys responded to the email that went out this morning about exercises that you guys do that really helps. There was a lot of squats on there, which I think is great. And lots of, it looked like, parts of exercises from personal trainers, which is really cool. And actually inside of Momentum, our online coaching program, we did a members contribution where I asked all the members, what do you do for fitness? And everybody contributed what they do, and we turned it into a whole post with instructional videos. So that was really cool. It was really neat to see what everybody does. There was everything from like runners to yoga and Pilates, and specific exercises. Dead bugs were one of the ones that came up that I didn't know about before, that are awesome for riding. Kind of similar to some of the equitation exercises that I do at my equitation clinics. So that was really cool. But if you guys have anything that you like to do that you would like to share, that would be great. I think that is awesome, and that's one of the great things about this community, is all the ways that everybody contributes and shares and helps each other out. So Lee, hiking, yeah. And hi Lori. Yes. Okay, so hiking is a good one. So the first thing that I want to say about the question, what can I do to stay fit when I can't ride? The first thing I want to say is that a break is actually okay. And I've said this before. We've done entire Facebook Lives about what to do when I have to take a break from riding. But the first thing I want to say is that a break is okay. And I plan on not doing a whole lot of riding for a couple of weeks in December, preparing for Christmas and into the new year. And, you know, sometimes when there's just so much to be done, just taking care of the horses and, you know, getting things done with the cold weather. I basically plan on that. And I feel like if I do get my riding in during that time, then it's a bonus. And I don't fret about it. Sometimes a break is what you need, and a break is what's going to bring you back refreshed and excited, and maybe giving you a little bit of time to recuperate. If you had any injuries, gives your horse a chance to recuperate from any injuries, and just gives you that break that you need, you know, to feel refreshed. Some people do better after a break. I feel like it's really not necessary to say this right now, because with all of the lockdowns and things that we have had and that we may face in the next little while, nobody wants a break from riding. Seems like everybody just wants to keep going, which is great. But if you're in a position where you need to take a break, I don't think you should sweat it necessarily. Take the break, enjoy the time off, make the best use of it, and then come back, and you'll come back stronger. The next point that I wanted to say was kind of along the same lines as what Lee said, which was, Lee said hiking. I'm going to say walking. I think walking is where you need to start. If you are not fit at all, it's where you need to start. I also think it's one of the healthiest things that you can do for your body and for your mind, is to walk. I'm a big believer in keeping things as close to nature intended as possible, and I think walking is one of the most natural things that we can do for ourselves, especially if we're doing it outside, and especially if we're doing it outside even in the elements. So I know not everybody is going to like that idea, but I think that getting outside and doing, you know, 30 minutes of walking or whatever you can tolerate of walking is the best type of exercise that you can do for yourself that applies to pretty much everybody, right? So walking is where I would start if you are not very fit. If you're not able to go for a half-hour walk, then that is definitely where I would start. If it's not something that you're doing, that would be a great thing for you to incorporate. The third thing I want to say is barn chores. Wintertime barn chores definitely counts for your fitness. Anybody that has done them knows that you don't have to go to the gym on the days when you are pushing wheelbarrows through the snow and breaking ice and falling and rolling underneath electric fences and all the things, lugging hay bales, you know, all that stuff. That is a great way to stay fit, and it definitely shouldn't be underestimated. So if you have an opportunity to clean stalls, take care of the horses, do that extra work, then you should do that. And the other benefit to that is that it keeps you so that your mind is on the horses, because the other part of having a break from the saddle is not just what your body is doing when you're out of the saddle, it's also what your mind is doing. And I think that that's an important piece, is to remember that if your goal is to come back from your break fresh and to just pick things up and keep going where you left off, then you need to not just keep your body moving, but you also need to keep your brain on horses and riding and things. And if you're not a person that has to do stalls all the time, then doing stalls actually is a good way to stay involved with the horses. Lacey's saying, I always think I'm doing okay in terms of fitness for riding when I'm riding my old broke horse, where I feel like I can just go along for the ride. My young one shows me that I'm not. He needs lots of help to keep him going. So that's my why, to keep up with exercise classes and stretching. That's such a good point, Lacey. Because sometimes it's not that you need to improve your fitness because you're having a break. Sometimes it's a need to improve your fitness because of a different horse. And we get used to a certain horse, and then when we ride a different horse, we realize that a lot of them are a different type of fitness. A 2-year-old, I've been riding my 2-year-old recently, some of you guys know the one that I'm talking about. You guys who are in Momentum know the one that I'm talking about because we've used him in the featured horse. But he's out of my old Smart Like Juice mare that I used to show, and he's by Smart Spook, and he was born on my birthday, and I was the first one on him, and I've been riding him a little bit recently, and it is a whole different level of fitness than riding, like Lacey was saying, an older broke horse. I was going from riding a 7-year-old gelding that I've been riding for about a year, who has a really big stride and a really flat back and very, just very solid, and going to riding the 2-year-old, I notice a big difference in how much I have to use my obliques to stabilize myself, and I'm getting out of breath faster. So that was a good point, Lacey. Thanks for bringing that up. And thanks for bringing up the idea of having a why. If you feel like you're getting out of breath riding your young horse, that's a really good reason to go and, push at the gym or at home or wherever with your fitness. That's a great reason. Using our horses as an incentive that's awesome. I've seen people do amazing things using their horses as incentive. I had a lady who, she lost 30 pounds and started running marathons because she wanted to be more fit for her horse, which is awesome. Okay, so another thing I wanted to touch on was a lot of people say that they want to stay fit and stay doing things so that when they come back to riding, it doesn't hurt. And there are a few components with that. One is your seat bones. So if you're not riding, then the calluses that grow on your skin and on your actual bones will start to go away. Your skin will become more soft again, and the calluses that are actually built up on the bone from sitting will probably go away, because most of us are not sitting on really hard surfaces anymore. So if you are a person who gets really, and some people this happens to, get really, really sore seat bones, something that you can do to help is actually to sit on a hard seat regularly. Sit on a wooden chair. Most of us sit on a comfy couch, or we sit in our cars that have lots of padding, and we don't keep those calluses built up. And that is something that you can do. Toughening up the skin, I don't think there's a whole lot that you can do. Maybe there is, I'm just not aware of it, but I don't think there's a whole lot you can do to toughen up that skin. But what you can do is, when you ride, having 2 layers. So if you're a person whose skin gets really sore when you come back to riding after having a break, some people call them pony pimples, or some people get bad enough chafing that they will bleed. Then what I would suggest is that you wear 2 layers of clothing. You wear nylons, or you wear long underwear, silk long underwear, or something like that underneath for a little while until your skin gets used to it again. Even still, you may find when you take that layer off and you go just right back to your jeans that your skin gets sore, but having that bridge can be really helpful. So that's kind of a lot of the peripheral stuff. That's the, taking a break, walking, cleaning stalls and doing barn chores, all of those sorts of things. We talked just a little bit about seat bones and chafing. And I think what everybody really wants to know are, what are the exercises that I should be doing to improve my riding? Give me these specific exercises that will work. And the thing with riding, and the thing with me giving this type of general advice, is that for riding horses, you need to have so many different skills. You need to be physically strong. You need to have some endurance. You need to be flexible. You need to be coordinated. You need to be focused. You need to have a rhythm. There are so many different parts of being a strong rider that it's really hard to say, well, if you do this many push-ups or you do this many sit-ups, then that will improve your riding. So I think what I would rather leave you with is work on whatever part of your fitness you feel is the weakest, or you feel like is affected when you come back to riding. If you've taken a break before and then you're coming back and you really feel like, you got winded quickly, then, we need to work on some cardio. If you feel like your back got really sore, then we need to probably work on building your core, building your abdominals. Those are the things that I would suggest you work on more so than a very specific exercise. There are specific exercises that are great, but it depends on what you're trying to achieve. So for me, myself, I like to run. I don't get to run a whole lot right now because I have 2 little kids and I can't bring them with me. So what I have turned to, which I really enjoy, is actually a bar blend class. A bar blend class is a blend of balletic movement with yoga and Pilates and some high intensity interval training. There's a little bit of everything in it, and that's part of what I like, is it really keeps me going. I don't have time to think about the number of repetitions I'm doing. And it focuses a lot on balance and coordination and isometrics, which is so important for overall health and fitness, supporting the lower back for sure, but also for my riding. It's the thing that I find makes the biggest difference for my riding. There are sample workouts that you can find on YouTube. There are 2 really good ones. One of them is a Pop Sugar video, and one of them is a Beachbody bar blend workouts that are really good, that I would highly suggest that you try. And there are modifications that you can use that are a little bit simpler, a little bit less challenging if you're starting from fairly sedentary, and there are modifications that you can do that really make them intense. So that's my go-to for improving my flexibility, strength, endurance, balance, coordination, all of those things. I think that one is, that's the thing I've done that I think helps me the most. But I also think that it's not for everybody, and you should do whatever type of exercise brings you joy, makes you feel good. Whatever one you're going to stick with, whatever one you're going to do, that's what you should do. And if there's something specific that you can pinpoint that helps your riding that you can stick with, then that's great too. Anybody have any questions about staying fit in the saddle or things that you can do? I feel like I've kept it pretty simple for you. Maybe you found something in here that is going to be valuable. I hope you found something that is going to be valuable. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, or if you have anything that you think that I missed that you really like doing, that you think has helped, then that would be great. Go ahead and contribute those. We do have our Cut the Chaos Challenge coming up shortly. We have every quarter for, how have we done it all year? I can't remember. Maybe my Momentum members can help me out there. But we've done it a few times. Last time we did it was in the fall, and we opened it up to everybody, and it was really fun. We had 134 people, I think, all signed up, and it was a 5-day challenge. We focused on cutting the chaos in our riding and trying to be really intentional about what we want to accomplish in the next 3 months. And those 3 months are almost up, so we're going to do another one of those. The challenge is going to be January 3rd through 7th. So you have a little bit of time to breathe and focus on the holidays and get rejuvenated for the new year. And then in the very beginning of the new year, January 3rd, we will start with that challenge. So I'm going to open up, it's inside of a Facebook group, and I'm going to open up that group, I think, on December 27th. If you were in the group last time, you are still in it. I'm just going to open up that same group again. So if you were in it last time, then you are still good. If you have not been in it before and you really want to make sure that you get in, the best thing to do is to sign up for our email list, which you can do at hayescofalperformancecourses.ca/subscribe. You can find that link anywhere on our website as well, and I can add it into the post text here. So that's going to be fun. You guys should definitely do that. We had a great time doing it last time. There was lots of energy. People had fun with it, made lots of progress inside of the 5 days. And I'm really looking forward to meeting up again to talk about the progress that happened over the last 3 months. I've also, if you guys have done it before with me, then you're going to see some things that are a little bit different. I've added a review. So a way for you to kind of consolidate everything that we talked about last time and go back through what your goals were and your big rocks and all that stuff. And if there were things that didn't get done, how to bring that forward into your next challenge. So I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be great. It's something that I do every day in my own planner, and I've adapted it for this challenge. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy that. Saw some things on here. Pat saying, what do you type in on the computer? Barn blend. No, it's not barn. It's bar. B-A-R-R-E blend workouts. Try bar blend sample workout, Pat. It's hard. It's quite hard. It doesn't look that hard, but it's quite hard. But I think you'll find if you stick with it a little bit, I think you'll find you make results really quickly, like within a week. And it's a really good workout for riders, I think. The other one, Pat, I don't know if you heard at the very beginning, dead bugs. Dead bugs are a really cool individual exercise that you could add into if you already have a set of stretches or exercises that you're doing, would be a really cool one. Any other questions in here? Hi, Carter. Hi, Chuck and Shirley. This is awesome. Thanks for being on here with me tonight, guys. Lee, I can't wait. The last one was so inspiring. I got flying lead changes and my Lope off departures look way better. Yes, that's awesome. That is awesome. What was your, Lee, what was your goal last time? I'm trying to remember. I think it had something to do with showing, wasn't it? Memorizing patterns and stuff. So that's awesome that your flying lead changes are working and your Lope departures look better. Did you get the Lope departure videos? If any of you guys have not got those yet, the Lope departure videos, I made a series of videos that are free. And you can access those at hayescofalperformancecourses.com/Lope. You can also find them. They're pinned to the top of our Facebook page, and they are in the link in our bio on Instagram if you're finding us on Instagram. Videos are free. There's 3 of them. We break the Lope departure down into 3 steps, bridling up, moving the hip in, and then lifting up into the Lope. And the videos are short, but they pack a real punch. There's lots of information in there. And then if you want even more guidance, then you can also sign up to get the riding plan and the audio lesson. That's priced at $9, which is a killer deal for right now, just to get you guys going, so that you can try one of those and start improving your Lope departure. And that's me in your ear. That's me. You can play me on your phone. You can put your earbuds in, and it's me guiding you through your Lope departure in real time. So I'm helping you to time it all out, how to wrap your leg around, when to slide your leg back, how to lope off, what you're looking at, what you're trying to feel for, all that stuff. Okay, Marie, you're loving those. That's awesome. Oh, Lee, working on memory under pressure. Okay. And we haven't had any horse shows since we did that last challenge, I don't think you have. So you did some with video, right? That's going to be cool. I'm excited for that challenge. It's really fun. I love seeing the energy. I love seeing all of the support from all of the riders. It's a very It's always been a really positive environment. It's a really fun thing to be a part of, I think. Everybody's just so positive and supportive, and we're all just doing our best to become better riders, and it's really a fun thing to be a part of. So I hope, if you have not joined us before, then I hope you will try it out this time, and if you have before, then I'm looking forward to seeing your review and moving forward from here. Okay, thanks for being here with me tonight, you guys. Like I said, I'm here on my own, which means that my kids are a little bit out of sorts, so I'm going to cut it short tonight, and I'm going to head in and take care of my babies. I think I've given you all the information that you need for the Lope departure, for the challenge. If there's something that I missed, shoot me a message, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Jesse and I will be back next week on Tuesday. It is his birthday. We're doing a Q&A and Ask Jess Anything, and some of them are rapid fire. If you have a question that you would like to send in, please do that. And I will put him on the spot, which should be fun for all of us. I'll put him on the spot, and we will celebrate his birthday together. Merry Christmas, everybody, and I hope you have a restful and comforting holiday, and thank you for being here with us. We will see you next week. Good night.